Hey folks, it's Fritgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Boulder Canyon here in Farming Simulator 19. We're going to keep going with our baling up through here. Well, we're not going to keep going with our baling. Our hired help is going to keep going with our baling. Slowly chugging through. And yes, it is taking it a while, and that's just one of the things that we're going to accept about this. We will be buying a new tractor for it. So what we're going to do, just a second, I'm just going to let that one tick along, and we're going to have a look, because I've been trying to decide what tractor I should get. Now, we do have some bigger tractors available here. Our tractor that we've got at the moment is a smaller tractor. Go there, and go there into small tractors. We've got that one right there. Now, we do have it... not like that. Engine setup. We do have the biggest engine on it, so it's 143 horsepower. We're going to want something bigger. Now, a lot of people have been saying that I should seriously consider getting the case. Probably not that one. It's under medium tractors right here. That bad boy right there, because when you upgrade the engine, you've got a 260 horsepower engine. And it's another older second-hand tractor, which is probably a bit more realistic for what we're doing. I mean, that is $150,000. And I'm sort of looking at it from the point of view, well, 150 grand is a huge chunk of money to go putting out on anything, really. And if we look up through here, we've got a Deutz Series 7 right there. And if I go for the full engine upgrade on that, it's 210,000. I can have the black skin on it, the Warrior skin, which is just wickedly cool. Same horsepower, but the Warrior skin just... Wow. Right, hang on a minute. So what do we got here? We've got... That's the basic one right there. 224 horsepower at 185,000. Then next one up is 245 horsepower. The next one up again is 263 horsepower. And that goes up to 204,000. And that one, the Warrior, is another 5 grand for the skin. And that puts it to 210,000. I gotta be honest, I love the black skin on this. I really love the black skin on this. I've been looking at that one. I've been seriously considering that. And it's 263 horsepower. That is a beast of a tractor. 260 horsepower. Then again, you've got the John Deere. Now, this one starts at 228, but it starts at 280 horsepower. So you got it. It's a bit of a jump up there. 228,000. That's not too shabby. I don't want to go for a JCB. Case is the other one. The Case Puma over here. 188,000. And I did say originally I was going to go with Case or John Deere. Those were kind of... or New Holland. Those were like the big main ones for me. This one's got a front loader attachment. You've got the wheel setups on this one. I've got narrow tyres as an option if I want them. I can have the front loader on this tractor if I want, rather than the other one. And I'm sort of thinking that would be a good thing. And 188,000, the biggest engine upgrade there to 270 horsepower is a little bit cheaper than the Deutz. And yeah, we've got a Deutz. So, you know, the precedent has been set, but those are a little less common in the States. So I'm kind of thinking that the Puma would be the one that I'd want to go for. I'm thinking that would be the one that I go for, and whether or not we go for the upgrade. So that's 188,000, whereas the Case over here, if I go for that one, I can go up to, over here, maximum horsepower is 260, and that's 143,000. So it's definitely better value for money. There is no doubt whatsoever that that is better value for money, right? There is no question. And this one here at 188,000 on 225. If we get the engine upgrade all the way to 200, it's 210,000. So, you know, 210,000 for 270 horsepower. Or this one over here, 260 horsepower for 143,000. It's there's a 60 grand, $65,000 difference between them for 9 horsepower. Now, in real life, the reason that you would go and spend that extra $65,000 on the new tractor as opposed to this one is because the reliability of the new tractor would far exceed the reliability of this tractor. That is the reason that you would go for it. That is the reason that you would seriously consider forking out that extra $65,000, because the other tractor is far less likely to break down at a crucial moment. They don't have that aspect in this game, but that is something that I would actually like to include in our gameplay. I'm surprised it chucked the bale out there like that. That is something that I'd like to include in our gameplay for this one. That is why I'm seriously considering getting that tractor, because in real life, it is something that you would seriously consider doing because of the extra money, well, because of the reliability, right? Your tractor is, honestly, an older tractor is going to be breaking down, isn't it? That is something that you take into account. So I'm thinking that we've already got 2 older tractors, and so for that reason, we want to save up the $188,000. We'll go for $190,000 to get that new tractor. Before we can do that, though, we're going to need to do this bit over here, and we're just going to chop down the rest of those trees. Then we'll use the lorry and the trailer, and we will move these logs over. We'll take a full load over to the mill, and I'm hoping that that will be enough for us to get our brand new wrapper. Once we've got the wrapper over here, we can wrap the silage, and then we can carry on with working on the field. We need to get fertilizer out on the field, that sort of thing. And then finally, we will go back to doing a few more trees until such time as we have the necessary money. Although today, once the silage is all finished, we'll be fast-forwarding time until the end of the day and skipping the night. So it's going to cost us almost 10 grand doing that. We know that. That's an accepted thing. And I'm hoping that in the morning, the silage prices will be right, so we'll be able to sell all our bales of silage as well. That would be a pretty cool thing. And also, by the morning, maybe the wool prices will be fairly up there as well, because we've got a fair bit of wool now. And so we want to be considering selling the pallets of wool that we've got there. Bring that one out round that side like that. I think over there like that, there. And this is always the difficult bit, as I've said before, is looking under the branches of the trees. These trees here, where the branches are way, way down, right on the ground, does make life difficult. Pull that one back in a bit. Out a bit. Ah, there we go. Right. Nailed it. Lift you up. Actually, I'm going to go over there, and then I can actually see what I'm doing. So put that one out over to there. Yeah, the silage, if the silage is ready to sell in the morning, we can sell those silage bales. Plus, like I said, we've got several pallets of wool that are just about ready for selling as well, and that's all more money coming in. I'm not gonna do a great deal to this field up here until we've got the new tractor. I'd like to do the stump grinding with the new tractor rather than the tractor we've got, because a bigger, more powerful tractor, it handles our stump grinder altogether differently than the one we've got at the moment. The way that the tractor handles it at the moment, it just generally really struggles to do anything at all with it, whereas a new tractor and a new, more powerful tractor it copes with the stump grinder a lot more easily. It really doesn't struggle with it anywhere close to how the our current one does, because our current one it doesn't quite lift it up high enough up off the ground in order to work it properly. So that does make it a little bit difficult. I'm just gonna flick over to here, see how we're doing. So we've left a little bit of a mess over there, but that's because of the road sign, so we'll be expecting that. And we'll let this one, we'll just watch this one run down through, because I want to see what sort of mess it's left down at the other end. I don't think it's left too much of a mess down there. I love the fact that it's sort of ticking along fairly nicely now, and I'm liking that. I'm thinking that... No, I was considering getting a different baler, but the more I think about it, the more I think, no, I don't really want to get a different baler. We'll just stick with the baler that we've got. We'll run that one, and I won't bother running any others. So I will... Hopefully this one is just going to go across that bit and do his strange little... Yeah, he is. He's just going across that bit. He should carry on all the way down there. He's left one little bit. I'm surprised. I thought he would have gone on a little bit further, but I suppose it was a little bit tight right there. No, don't even think about doing that. Don't even think about it. I'm bitterly disappointed that you would even consider that at the moment. Which way is it going to turn when it gets down here? Going to go across there. Right, that's going to keep going. This is good. This is what I want it to do. I want it to keep going. I want it to go all the way down to there. And it's going to leave the bale behind. Now, which way is it going to turn? Am I going to have to do something? Am I going to have to intervene? No, I'm not. It's going the correct way. That's good. We'll swivel round there, and then it will carry back on. It's going up that hill that's the trouble. I don't know why it tried to turn on that one little bit there, though. That seems a little bit odd. And then... A lot of things that the tractors do in this game can sometimes seem... Well, not the tractors. A lot of things that the hired help does can seem a little bit odd. I'm gonna just assume that it's gonna be fine, because it's gonna take a while to do anything right there. So we'll go back up to this one. We are auto-loading on the left right now, which is good. We've got one stack, so I can go over to there and B to auto-load. Like that. There we go. Excellent. Right. There's the first one's loaded, and then I go straight up here. Like this. Is it going to pick them all up? It is indeed going to grab them all. It's even got the really short one there. Another couple of short ones right there, because we had two quite small trees that we picked up on that bit. Then I swing in round like this. And we get that bit. So this, once I get a full stack from here, that'll be enough then to give us a complete full trailer load that we can then take over to the mill. And once we've got that complete full trailer load over there, we run that over to the mill. That's, I'm hoping, going to be enough money to get that wrapper. It is 56,000, and one full load, I think... Well, actually, just one full single stack load was something like 20,000, wasn't it? So we may not have enough, and we will load it up as much as we possibly can. We'll put in as many logs into this load as we possibly can. So I'm going to load this one up here as much as I possibly can. And then once we've got that all done... Oh, okay, he stopped there for a second. There. Right. It's probably enough on there. So I'll put the straps on. And then I'll come over this way and we'll immediately unload. And then once I've unloaded... Right there, I'm hoping that I won't have to move. If I just do that... I'm hoping I won't have to move at all because of where it's unloading it. And it will load the entire load back onto the truck without us having to alter anything. At least that's the plan. I don't know if this is actually going to work or not, but that is the plan. So I'll bring you to that point right there. And then we go in here and we just make sure that we've got two stacks right there. Switch pile, we don't need switch pile, that's on the first one, get rid of that, and I just press B, and I'm going to start loading like this, and I'm not going to switch it off, I'm just going to leave it running, and if you watch as it loads, so I'm not touching anything, I'm not pressing any buttons, I'm literally just going to let it run completely 100% by itself, and this is a feature that I particularly like about it. So it's put the short logs up to the front. So it loads them from the front. So if you've got 6 meter logs and you're loading on there, it puts them up a bit. And then it's got a couple of slightly longer logs that are there stuck out over the back. I'm guessing those are ones that we cut by hand. And then it does that. And so what it's doing is it's actually automatically loading everything. I can't believe I've actually got everything on there. I didn't think I'd get quite as much. So put that one up. There's another one. I gotta keep repeatedly pressing B now in order to get it to keep loading. I'll switch the log pile and then I'll press B again. Yeah, it's kind of crossed over a bit now. It does that, strangely. You get the occasional log that it really can't quite handle. And it's weird the way that it does it. And it's also, why is it dropping them over the back? I have no clue why it's doing that. That is a very strange thing. So I'm just going to pull forward from those. And then I'll put the straps on. Because I don't think we're going to get the rest of them on there. Those last few, I think we'll leave those. I don't know why they're trying to just load them hanging out over the back like that. But again, like I said, we'll leave them. We'll run this one back. How is our tractor doing? It's going slow over there, but it is getting up the hill, and it's working the full length of the field, so we're fine with that one. And we'll slow down a little bit here, like this. Bring that one in round the corner, and then carry on our way again. I'm loving this trailer, this lorry, by the way, this truck, this semi, whatever you want to call it, whatever part of the world you're from, truck, semi, lorry. There's all sorts of different names for them, and I am really liking this one though. I think that we made the right choice with the twin wheels on it. I think it's definitely the right choice. The only thing I'm curious about is if, when we eventually decide to go for a trailer on the back and we do like a proper road train on this, are we going to be able to get it up into the mill up here? Is that going to even be a thing? Alright? I mean, it'd be wickedly cool if we can. It really will. We won't be able to unload the whole lot all at once, but it is still going to be wickedly cool if we can do that. If that actually works. So bring this one over here, like that, and I'll bring it to that point right there, and I'll take the straps off, and then I'll come over and we'll see what we can sell to start. It probably won't, no, it won't sell everything. 38,520. Take that one off. And then another 5,000, so that is $43,000. Not enough. We don't have enough. We need 56,000 to be able to get our wrapper. And I feel that that is a fairly reasonable price. I mean, the base game is 54,000. Then our wrapper that we're going to... Oh, no, it's 54. I thought it was 56. We've tweaked that one so it wraps faster. And I'm not in the least bit ashamed of that. I'm quite pleased that we've got it so that it wraps faster, because otherwise we'd be there forever and a year trying to get the thing all loaded up. Bring you down. So I need some more timber. I've got to get more timber because I can't do it with bales. That's not an option. It's going to have to be timber. And that is why we have a very heavy-duty bumper on the front. So that when I do things like that, it doesn't cause too much damage. That's the last thing we want to do, is cause a load of damage. I will just have a look. What is the price of wool right now? Are we wanting to sell wool pallets now? No, but wool is on the increase. So we may be selling wool later today, rather than right now. Later today is not a bad idea for the selling of the wool. But first up, we've got to get some more timber, and we've got two choices. We can either go and cut down yet more trees, and sort of do it a little bit more slowly, or I can simply come up here, and I can immediately start loading. I'm going to change that over, so we've got for one stack like that, and I'm going to start loading like this. So I've got those two logs there, which loaded weirdly. Helper C is blocked by an object. What object? Yeah, I don't think you're blocked by anything, to be honest. You're just on such a steep hill now that you can't climb up it. Right. I just pressed H just then, but without the baler running, and so it emptied the baler out. I'll lower that one down. And switch over to there, and then press H. Without those two bales in the baler, if I'm driving it, it's actually going up the hill. Seems to be that the hired help is struck. Maybe the hired help doesn't actually put full acceleration on there. It wouldn't surprise me. That might actually be a thing. It's wheel spinning a little bit. If we can just get to the top of the hill, we better carry on. It's really struggling now. This is why we need a bigger tractor. This is 100% why we need a bigger tractor. I mean, I would seriously consider selling this one and getting the case instead of this one. Although, we're only going to get like 16,000 for selling this tractor. And then the new case would cost us 98,000 just to get it as it is with the default factory settings. If we wanted to improve anything beyond that, we would need to go higher than that. And this is the drawback of having the square baler as well. The sheer weight of the thing. If we're on level ground, it's not a problem. But on this right here, this is a bit more of a problem. Right, that's up to the top of the hill. You can carry on now. It's gonna do the same when it comes back around, but we won't worry about that. Okay, so now I can go back to you, and I'll reverse back round this way. We only had, out of all of that timber that I loaded up, ready for transporting away, we only had 4 logs left over, and 2 of them were a little bit hinky, a little bit strange. The way that they loaded up, they sort of dropped off the very edge of the truck. So I'm not quite sure why they did that, but we'll take those with this odd load that we're going to collect right now. We'll just gather up all the rest of the timber that we've got here. And then once that's loaded, run that very quickly up to the shop. Sell that, and then we've got enough to go and get our wrapper, which we can bring back, and then we'll be about ready to start doing the wrapping by that point. At least that's what I'm hoping. Get all those bales done. Then we've got, well, we want to start doing some, once we've done the bales, we can start gathering them up, things like that, and then we've got a little bit of extra work to do. We need to do the fertilizer on the field, and we've got, right, there's one that didn't load properly. Oh. Every time it just drops it off the edge, just ever so slightly, even if it's a little bit, it automatically stops loading. Which I guess is kind of a good thing. At the same time, it's not a good thing. Now, pick up that one there. I know you can load that one because I've seen you do it. You already picked that one up. There we go. Right, let's grab that one. And it should also be able to grab this one from me as well. There we go. Right, that is all of the... No, I need to tab into the vehicle. There. Right, that is all of the timber that we want. So we can take that, and then we can get out of here. Back up onto the road, and we'll take this little part load down. That's going to be at least 10 grand. I'm hoping. Yeah, it should be. It's bound to be at least 10 grand. And we'll sell that, and then then we can go and get our wrapper, and we can bring that one back. And let's not keep doing that. That's the second time I've gone and done that. That's why we've got this bumper on the front. That is why we've got this impressive bull bar on the front. I am just going to stop there a second. And I'm going to go over to you. Oh, he's turned way up there. And is he going to give up completely? Or is he actually going to get up that hill? Yeah, helper C is blocked by an object. It didn't like it. So we will go on up the hill ourselves a little bit. If I lift that one up in the air, is that going to make any difference? Because it will still cut. It won't make a difference. It only makes a difference when I do that. So I'm turning the mower off and then on again. I'm like turning it off very, very briefly. 1, 2, there, just like that. Off, on. Just to get it up the hill. That's enough. That's all we need to do. I know that this isn't realism. This is abusing game mechanics, but that's fine. That's something we can live with. We're already abusing game mechanics by having to have the hired help run like this so that we can get the hired help doing the baling. So I feel that just on-off on the mower to get it up the hill a little bit is absolutely fine. I feel that's an acceptable thing. Go back to you. Get you over to the mill and get you sold, and then the truck can... We'll probably leave the truck at the mill, I should think. Because we need to head over to the dealership. We'll buy the next machine. Then we need to get to the dealership and pretend to be the dealer for a minute or two while we get that one loaded up and bring it back over here so it's ready to start loading. And by that point, we should have just about finished. There won't be a huge amount more that the hired help is going to do anyway, because we're getting to the point where it's going to start seeing the stumps that are under the ground over on that side of the field, and that's something that we will be dealing with at some point, but I'm not quite sure when. I know some of you said that you weren't really fussed about it, and you thought I should just get rid of it in my own time, and some of you thought that yeah, I should use the thing to the landscaping thing and dig them out, but we obviously we want to wait until sell that. Right, there's 15,000. That's all I needed. That one is one more over there. A little bit. $20. Yeah, an absolute fortune. Some of you felt that it would be better if I was to use the landscaping mod and dig them out using that one because, yeah, we got to pay for it. I'll use the place anywhere thing. Well, I need to use the place anywhere thing in order to be able to do it. But by using that one, what I'm doing is I'm paying to dig them out, and regardless of whether we used our own earth-moving machinery or we used someone else's, we would still have to pay. It would still cost us money to dig the stumps out. So I'm personally sort of leaning towards doing it like that, but I'm thinking we'll wait until we've got this next field cleared, and then we'll go through and we'll make sure we've cleared every stump altogether. So next thing we want to do is we want to go to baling technology. We want to go right the way through there. We want to buy the Wrap Master 4044. I'm going to change the foil color. Ooh. Yellow foil or bright blue. I've never used bright blue foil. We're going to go with that to start with. It doesn't cost any money, so we'll be able to change the foil over at any point. The main color, we can go with game green doits or real green doits. What is the difference? That's a pale green. And that's a brighter green. Let's go with that one then. And buy. Right, we're going to do blue bales this time. Blue bales. I'm looking forward to this. So let's go to the shop. Actually, I'm going to need to just nurse this one, I think. Oh, maybe not. He's actually at the top of the hill, so I think he'll get up over that. Yes, he will. He's going to do that just fine. So hopefully he'll do the rest of it as well. And there's a little bit of a mess to clear up around there. We'll deal with that next time. Well, we'll deal with that later. And actually, no, I want to go to that one first. That trailer is already in the right position. That's fine right there. We've got our old wrapper right there. I reset it back to the shop, which was, you know, the shop coming and collecting it. So we know that that happens, but what we didn't do was we didn't sell it. So we need to bring that one over here. We need to sell that, and then we need to tell that Frithgar chap that how much money he earns from it. So we'll jump out of there, go over this side, and sell $7,354. That's a nice start. I'll tell you what, if we'd actually done that in the first place, we wouldn't have had to go with that second load with the timber. Never mind. We did it, and that's job done. We won't worry about it now. So let's back you up onto there and get you. And then we'll bring this one over and around. there. And then I can back that one up. Just need to go slowly and steady. It's got quite a short base between the tractor and the rear wheels, which means it's a little bit sensitive with the steering. It's always a bit more difficult to turn, to reverse anything that's got a short base on it. That's just you know, a fact of tractor drive. A fact of any driving. It's not just tractor driving, that's any driving. Let's just jump into you. We'll hitch on that front part of the Goldhofer. And something that bugs me, has always bugged me, is the fact that you can't unhitch this. You can reset it to shop, like this, like it is right now. And I can load it on like that, and then it goes on there. But what I can't do is I cannot unhitch it like that. It won't let me do it, and that's always bugged me. You've got to join it back onto this front bit in order to be able to do that, and that's not something that I've ever really liked about this. So bring that one back into there, because I'm sure there is a way to at least store it while it's unhitched. There's got to be. It makes sense that there would be, to be honest. Now, with that one right there, the third axle, go. Does it unfold? Oh, hang on, no, I'm by moving the mouse up. That's the trailer. I don't want to be doing that. Select tool, toggle cruise control. It doesn't. There are other trucks where the third wheel actually drops down and unfolds. And I'm not sure when you should use... Well, I sort of know when you should use it. You lift up the third axle when you are unladen, so that you're not burning quite as much rubber. When you're whizzing along all the roads, you're not burning quite so much rubber when you've got the third axle lifted. And then when you've got a full load, you put it down to spread the weight a little bit more on the road. But I do know... I don't know how much it's done. And a slight spoiler alert, with the time-lapse, I have used a third axle on there to do a little bit of something, and I did run it, I put the third axle down for a bit, but then I lifted it back up again, because my reasoning was the same reasoning. Helper G is blocked by an object. Let's just go and deal with that a second. Why? Hang on a minute, why are you... Oh. Oh. Right. I see what's happened. I see what's happened here. I see entirely what's happened. We picked up a bale. It sort of just got kicked out, and it shouldn't have been. So we need to go back over here. I'm going to spin round. No, the... what was I saying? Yeah, the third axle. In real life, when I've been involved with doing any HGV driving, heavy goods vehicles, what we call them here in the UK, and I haven't personally done it, but I've seen it done quite a few times. When the lorries were driving off-road, what they would do is... Let me just start that one. Lower that one down, actually, and then go here, and I'll just do that. When they were driving in the fields, what they would do is they would raise the rear axle, even when fully loaded up. They would raise up the rear axle, make the whole lorry sink right down. And this wasn't with a articulated lorry like the one we're using here. It's one that's got the flatbed joined onto the back and then a double axle on the back. And we would raise one of the axles in the field because that would give you additional traction, and you'd need that in order to be able to get out of the field. So you'd sink right down on your axle, you really would. But I kind of use that same principle in the time-lapse series. I don't know how accurate it would be. I would guess fairly accurate, because I mean, if we do that with one axle, and raise one up so that you haven't got the weight being taken off of that axle. You've got more... If you raise it up, you've got more weight being put on the two remaining axles. And if you're looking for additional traction in a situation like we're in right now, where you're going up a dirt track and you want as much weight on the actual drive axles as possible, then raising the third axle so that you keep the weight solely onto the drive axles would make a lot of sense. So I'm going to assume that I did do that correctly. And I'm also very much aware that we have run out of time. I wanted to get this one back before I stopped, so that we're ready to start doing the wrapping at the beginning of the next episode. Although we probably won't do it at the beginning of the episode. We'll probably wait until we finish the baling, so not quite at the beginning. But anyway, if you've enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And we will get this one down to the bottom of the hill, so it's ready to roll. And then we will stop. Bring that one round. And I managed to get round the corner without ramming into a tree. I feel we're making progress. Definitely making progress. I don't know what that tractor's going to do down the other end. It's getting very, very close now to all of the tree stumps that are going to cause it the main issues. We're going to bring this one to here. This is roughly where we're going to unhitch, so we'll stop right there. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.